And we are back for our highlight session, our final session that's going to close the event for today. And I'm here with Rolf Najork, member of the Board of the Management of Bosch. And we received quite a few questions from the audience through our platform here that I wanted to kick off this conversation right away. We've heard a lot, obviously, about your vision for the factory of the future. And somebody from our audience here wants to know, how are you actually guiding your employees on the path of digitization?
I think what's most important is that you cannot just guide this development by command. I think what you need to do is you need to create a genuine interest in the philosophy and in the strategy and a desire to really bring this vision to life. And I think what you also need to do is you need to explain why this is good for the business, both for our customers as well as for us on the long run. I think that's absolutely fundamental if you want to get the whole team on the journey. And this vision is so complex, it will take a massive team and it will take external partners to get it going. But if we don't do that, somebody else will do it, and then we will lose our leading position in the manufacturing world.
Thank you. The second question kind of, goes to the process of how you came up with your vision. How was the vision of the factory of the future formed?
I think the way we formed the vision was basically based upon the experience we had in the Industry 4.0 environment. We created the vision roughly 4 years ago, and the situation then was such that we could see a lot of Industry 4.0 individual solutions. If people wanted to present Industry 4.0 to you, they would take you to a machine and show a new evaluation tool or a sensor, a wireless sensor adaptation, and tell you how they would do some calculation on OEE and other productivity measures. But I think if you just go for the individual solution, it will never justify this big effort going to 5G, opening this whole world of a fundamental new data transfer backbone and the corresponding software and hardware world. I think you need a bigger picture. And we understood that this was the deficit. And then we built up a team together with some consultancies, and we defined what is really of high value to the customers and what is one of the biggest challenges in manufacturing. And then we came up with the problem of mass production versus lot size 1 in a professional environment. And that is how we landed in the vision.
Somebody called Vivek wants to know, what does smart factory mean for you, and what strategic partners are you looking for moving forward?
Yeah, smart factory means to me, and I think Professor Lanzer said it before, a super flexible factory, the factory in which you can manufacture a very big variety of products and solutions, and a factory that can instantaneously change according to the demand of the day. That is the true benefit. Yeah? And if you consider that most of your equipment should be flexible on the long run, you will also understand there is not one company that can do it alone. We can plow the vision, we can provide some very fundamental elements of it, but finally, I think it's very important that we have an open architecture that allows the whole manufacturing machinery industry to join in and jointly come to communication protocols and solutions that allow that we finally integrate all existing machinery and the whole manufacturing world and such a vision. So finally, when you ask for partners, we work with open platforms, particularly in terms of software and our automation platform. And with that, we want to invite the whole manufacturing world to join into the vision and become a partner of ours.
We talked a lot, in this panel discussion and in all the keynotes about the employees, taking the employees with you on that journey towards the smart factory. Why is the mindset so important for that?
Yeah, I think manufacturing is on the one hand, a very traditional world. On the other hand, it's a very, very effective world, and particularly starting from the Toyota lean manufacturing philosophy, which later on transformed the whole automotive world, but not only the automotive world, it also formed the thinking in other industries, like, for example, aircraft industries and so many others. Means we have a very stable but slightly conservative environment. And now if we want to go this very long journey to a really differentiating position with regard to the factory of the future, we need to have a different mindset. We need to watch the final result, not from the technology perspective, but from the customer benefit perspective. And I think that is a fundamental change in manufacturing. So far, historically, a lot is about technology and stability of processes and productivity. But when we think a factory of the future, we need to think small volume manufacturing means I cannot reuse my equipment today very easily. I need to be very flexible. I have a lot of changeover times. And at the same time, I want to be financially successful with my customized small volume products in the future. And that means we have to put ourselves in the shoes of our customers, the final factory operators, and understand what's really hurting them and what is the perspective for their business. And I think if we can only sell the factory of the future, if you can tell the end user what is in for them, what's the benefit for them, why are they more successful in their businesses?
We talked a lot about COVID, and everybody's talking a lot about COVID and the effect of the pandemic right now. How has the current situation accelerated the path toward digitization and toward the factory of the future?
Yeah, first of all, what we can say, and that is outside the factory, actually. That's in operating all the companies that we understand and know. It's the principal concept of remote work that has hijacked the whole industry within weeks. Yeah, and I think we are all experiencing it. It can be done. Yeah, when we talk about the indirect labor or the administration or R&D, a lot of work can be done from home. That is a massive change into digitalization. When we now talk about factory of the future, we also see that we want to reduce the risk of infection on the one hand. Secondly, we want to make sure that with a much smaller staff than before due to infection risk, we are in a position to guarantee quality and adequate and timely delivery of products. We want to have the same level of quality while we have less people in the plant. That calls for automation in a big array of manufacturing solutions. And that's what we're seeing. And that will give factory of the future a push.
When you look forward into the future, into the next couple of months and weeks, what are your hopes and what are your expectations, maybe for your own company and for the whole industry?
Yeah, I think that is very clear. First of all, we have to overcome the situation with COVID. I think we have some indicators now that I think medication is on the way and vaccination is on the way that could help shape, even if it takes some years to implement all of these measures, but it will give a positive outlook for the industry and the economy as a whole. That is what we absolutely want and what we need, and the whole world needs it, irrespective of the region in which we operate in the country. Secondly, I think what we also need to do, because the factory of the future is a fantastic vision for the whole world of manufacturing, and I think what we need to have is a way of open competition, but also open trade around the world that will allow us to introduce our technologies all over the globe, but also accept the competition that is driving us, making us faster, and making us move.
Thanks a lot, Rolf Najork, for your thoughts on the topic. And now I'd like to invite the host of this event, Sven Hamann, back to the stage. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. So obviously we've heard, we come to the end of this event. It was very interesting, a lot of interesting thoughts, discussion, insights. What was your personal highlight, Sven, as the host of this whole event?
Well, for me it was inspiring, also very intense, 3 hours from my feeling. I liked a lot the vision of the future production systems we saw. So, for example, from Gisela Lanza and Hans-Jürgen Proker, to see also what is already implemented. We saw there several videos, and also to see what is still to come. So that I liked a lot. Of course, I like a lot the Bosch vision of the factory of the future, as we play a key role in it with our portfolio Nexceed. And I liked a lot the amount of questions we receive. So we still receive a lot of questions, and we promise to answer them all. So just keep on asking. We will come back to you. And yeah, thank you all for sharing your experiences with us, for contributing to our discussion. And I would like to share a little bit more with you. We publish frequently white papers on hot topics of future production and digitalization. Sign up for it on our webpage. We send them to you for free. And we will start an Exceed rally in January. And that's a journey. And in each interval, we will offer inside views and trainings on specific topics on digitalization. So, for example, maintenance, logistics, machine building, and others. So after completing the journey, you have trained and inspired the whole team in your factory to shape and drive digitalization in your company. So you can also sign up for it for free on our webpage. Make sure that you give us the double opt-in so that we can contact you. What that means, you can see here on the right side on your screen. And yeah, feel free to contact us. We are open to share our experiences. We are also open to bring you in contact with our experts to discuss your individual needs. Thank you for joining. I hope we can see soon also in person again. And my best wishes to you, your families, your friends. Stay healthy.